we are live with episode 21 of the Dargan Podcast, and we are out in sunny Spain in Murcia, and I am joined by none other than my younger brother. Dean, how are you, bro?
Good. Thanks for having me, boss.
Good man. If you here, sit forward just slightly so we'll make sure we get you in. So Dean, first question, mate, and the most pressing and important question of the pod. What's your body count, bro?
Single figures, like?
No, we don't. Here, quadruple figures. No, so we're sitting out in Spain here, and we're out on a family holiday. We're looking out to the Port Pilar de Horadada. We have a nice pint of Estrella. If you're listening, I am taking you through this. A nice cold pint of Estrella. You know when the ice, do you not love it when the ice, the glass?
Beautiful. Top 10 things in life, ice cold pint.
What are your top 10 things in life?
Shit. Don't even say them on camera, but top 3.
Go, give me top 3. Give the listeners, because we love you.
Okay.
We're gonna give you top 3. Give them the least top 3,
right,
and then we'll get into it.
In no particular order, I'm gonna go. Airport pint has got to be up there.
Airport pint hits.
Airport pint. Yeah, I'm all out. I had a blank.
Airport pint. Alright. That first hit of the vape in the morning, you love that, mate. Yeah, listen, so we're going to dive into it, and I actually haven't had Dean on yet. Dean's probably one of my, I would say we're best mates, right?
Facts.
You say that? Dab me up. Yeah, I would say Dean's one of my best mates, and we definitely didn't used to get on. We didn't get on when we were kids. I'm 25, Dean's 20, and we didn't always get on, sure we didn't.
I mean, I wouldn't say we didn't get on, like, but
I mild disliking to you.
maybe
We
you
were
just
growing
didn't
up.
like me.
No, I'm joking. No, we did, but I would say we got a lot closer in the past year. Why would you say that is?
It's just more common interests, and I think I've grown up a bit as well in the last year. Probably helps, I would say. I can't think of much.
In what way?
I mean, I've matured somewhat. I think I've got more heavy in the gym and just tried to get after it a bit more. So, I mean, we can kind of understand ourselves or understand each other because we're into such similar things, doing things at the similar time and working hard, where some people don't really understand what that's like.
When you say some people don't understand what that's like, are you talking about younger guys?
Yeah, I would say so. A lot of people don't understand that it's not all sunshine and rainbows, like getting in shape. People look at it and think, oh my god, this guy's ripped, he's got a six-pack. It's like, this guy also starved himself for 4 weeks to get into that shape.
Yeah,
People don't understand that unless they've been there themselves. So, I mean, yeah, I would say that. There's a commonality there.
and you're also good crack. Let's say Dean's good crack.
Give me 4 pints, like, and I'll start.
Yeah, give him 4 points and he starts doing mad shit.
The riz comes from somewhere, like.
Yeah,
4
for
pints.
sure. If any of you haven't seen recently on Instagram, so we've been getting Dean. I think we should clarify that his name is not actually Dean, and you might be listening to that being like, mate, question mark. So his name is actually Connor, and I feel like we should give the listeners a bit of a backstory. This is gonna paint me out to be a ball bag. So when we were growing up, his name's obviously Connor. He's christened Connor. Now, if you've ever seen Geordie Shore, there is a knockoff Northern Irish parody of it called Nordy Shore. When I say there's a parody of it, it's literally an episode on YouTube. I think it's by Shane Todd and Colin Geddes on Dave Elliott. And one of the characters is called Beansy, right? He's called Beansy, and he is quite a large fella. Dave Elliott acts as him. Beansy's just a big guy. He's a heavy dude. And when you were younger,
I was a big guy.
you were a big dude for a little kid.
Serious amounts of donuts were consumed.
You love donuts, man. And again, I think when you're kids, like obviously now in the day and age that we live in, people think, oh, you can't say that. You can't say that. When we were kids, we didn't know any better. Like as brothers,
I got tortured.
we tortured each other though. Maybe not you. I know Gary and I, my older brother and I, we would have tortured each other, and then we tortured you. That was bonding then, right?
I would say so. I mean, bonding, getting hung up on the door by the boxers and the bin was kicked away and you were left dangling. Maybe not bonding.
Yeah, so we'll tell that story.
One way to so
Tell us story.
Right,
Okay, so we need to give context here because
This
it
is-
sounds bad, but I suppose it is bad to be fair.
This
So this is a really fun childhood memory from
These
Dean when
two
he was younger.
guys were borderline evil, honestly. So when I was a kid, a fat kid, now I will say,
Here we try on. Go on.
I
Yeah, sweet. What age would you have been?
like no more than 8. Fat little 8-year-old, and these guys took advantage. So
You're making out like we bombed you, like.
I mean, it was pretty goddamn close, like.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, if we had Liam or editor, can we just cut that, please?
Yeah.
Go on, wasn't bomb. Right, continue.
So Jordan Daniel used to get me into their room and then tell me, listen, this will be good crack. Stand on this bin here. And what they used to do is they used to get me by the back of the boxers. They would hang my boxers round the door handle. And then,
we put you on a bin.
yeah, I've already mentioned that. But yeah, they put me on a bin, hung me up by the boxers, and then they would kick the boxers away.
No, we kicked the bin away.
Oh, fuck, yeah. Got that shit out of it. Yeah, so we'll repeat that.
We kicked the bin away. No, we're not repeating anything. Lane's not cutting anything. No, so we'd hang it by the boxers, put them on top of the bin, and then we just kicked the bin away, and then he would just dangle up and down. We thought it was funny back in the day, but I suppose when you look back, it is.
And I wasn't rescued until these boxers were ripped.
Yeah, it was awful.
My only saving grace was the fact that these boxers ripped pretty quickly.
Yeah, when I look back at when he was younger, like I realised that we really we built his character. So I'm taking kudos, I'm taking credits for that. No, I'm only joking, but yeah, Dean and I are very close. Dean's good crack, and you know I coach Dean as well. Dean's got into ridiculous shape in the past year, and hats off to you, mate. Like you've absolutely smashed it. And yeah, I want to get you the pod because I feel like why not? Like I feel like when people are doing podcasts, they always get on randomers, and in my opinion, it's so important for me to get people on that are closest to me, people that I get on with, because I think it's important to have those conversations that we would normally have, and like we shoot the shit all the time. So I feel like why not record that and do it on a podcast? So yeah, like obviously what we've been struggling with, not what we struggle, what we've been talking about recently is a lot of is young men, what young men have been struggling with, why they've been struggling with it. So what would you say young men struggle with most in 2024?
The number one thing has got to be approaching women, because that's the number one thing I would struggle with. And like I don't struggle with much these days, but like that would be it. Like I've got myself in top shape, done a load of hard things, but the thought of approaching a woman, even with like 10 pints in me, would make me fucking tremble, honestly. But last week we went out and I'd done it, and you
Take them through that.
So Daniel said he came back from Marbella and he was like, yo, Connor, do you want to be my videographer for the day? And I was like, right, no worries. I don't have much to do on a Saturday anyway. So we go in and Daniel's like, right, now it's your turn, mate. And I was like, what? And he's like, no, it's your turn. And I was like, oh shit, what? And he goes, I'm going to point to a bird and you are going to have to go approach them here. So I quickly said, let's go for a pint, because I wasn't doing it sober. We got the pint and I was genuinely sitting, drinking the pint, and my hand was trembling.
I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, so that just shows you as well. But we went and we got it done, and as soon as I got the first one done, it was like genuinely ridiculous. It was like this huge weight off my shoulders.
Why?
It's just because in your head, like everyone's just so in their head these days, especially with approaching women. 100%, like that's exactly how I would have been. But once you do it, you realise it's not that scary. People actually like being complimented. Realistically, what's the worst that's going to happen? What is the worst that's going to happen?
As you said, people like being complimented, and the fact that so many people don't approach women these days means that when you do, that you're only going to be met with a good response, provided that you aren't an absolute pervert about it. And when you compliment somebody, they're going to take that well. And what's the worst case scenario? You get rejected, they say something mean to you, and that's it. What? You haven't died. So I think it's really important. I think as we are getting older, especially as young men, I see it in my age group, I see it in your age group, guys have lost their confidence when it comes to women. That's something I think I've definitely made a point of delving into in recent content and content I want to tap in on going forward, because that can really hold guys back, don't you think?
Yeah, well, people just spiral the issue. Like once they get it in their head, they're like, okay, this girl's good looking, they'll think, I'll go approach her, and then their brain will slow them down. They'll be like, no, and then they'll just think, oh, if I approach her and she says no, then she'll do this. Oh, but what if this? What if that? And it's like, people just try to find the worst in it, but like the likelihood is nothing bad is going to come from it. You won't die, and realistically, you're all going to die anyway at one point. So just do it, because see the regret. I came back from Ibiza.
Double figures.
I'll say this.
Go.
I came back from Ibiza 4 weeks ago, and don't get me wrong, I spoke to people, but I didn't get out there as much as I should have went.
What do you mean by that?
Like, I didn't speak to as many people as I wanted to speak. I would see a good looking girl and say to you or say to someone else, here, she's really hot, but then not act on it. But then as soon as I came home, I got on that flight home, I was like, oh shit, now I regret this. But what if I did go do it? What if I did? And the worst pain in life is, in my opinion, playing on those what ifs in your brain. Like, it is the worst. What ifs in your brain is the worst.
What you said on what ifs is actually really important. There's a really great exercise that if you're listening to this and you always catastrophize, you think about worst case scenarios. I actually want you to do this. So I want you to ask yourself what you're worrying about, what you're stressing about the most at the moment, and write down what if, as in what if that plays out, what if that happens. And then beneath that, I want you to draw an arrow to it, and I want you to write, what's the outcome of that? If that happens, then what? And whatever you write, I want you to put an arrow beneath that. And then I want you to ask yourself, can I handle it? Can I handle it? Can I handle that outcome? Can I handle that rejection? Can I handle that girl saying that I'm not interested? Because the likelihood is that you can. And the likelihood is that nothing bad's going to happen to you. The likelihood is you're still safe. And it's another rep in the tank. So I want you to follow that. The reason why we catastrophize is because we never actually take the problem and follow through to the solution, follow through to the outcome, and then ask ourselves, can we deal with that? Because the likelihood is that we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
We're always going to be fine. There's that quote which I absolutely love. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. And it's true. Anything that you've been through before, whether that be approaching women, whether that be going to do a test, whether that be absolutely anything in life, time's went on. That situation has passed you by. Something you once thought was the most stressful thing in your life is just the distant memory. So that can be related. We can bring that into when it comes to approaching girls as well. And what do you think the impact is of young guys today not approaching women? Because, you know, all I see is when it comes to guys wanting to get with girls, it's let's go on Tinder, let's go on Hinge, and it's we'll go out and get smashed, and we will then try and hook up. What do you think the impact is of that? What do you think the impact is of people not approaching girls or guys? I think this can go both ways, right?
It's so interesting. Like, girls and guys are almost scared to even acknowledge each other anymore, I think. Like, even in the gym, when you walk past someone, two guys and a girl, like, you see it.
I hate that.
They'll both just put their head down and look away. And it's like, what happened to just saying hi to someone? It's like, maybe you're not trying to get with them, but just to say hi and, like, trust me, you will enjoy your life much more by speaking to people. It's, in my opinion, humans were built to speak to other humans.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we lost that. But we're here. Me and you were changing that, right? We're changing that one rail at a time.
One successful race at a time. Let's not say fail.
No, I didn't say fail. No, one race at a time, right?
Oh, damn right.
One rail at a time. We're gonna change that. And mate, obviously we are heading to Ibiza. Tell the troops why we're going back to Ibiza.
Redemption. Straight up redemption.
Redemption. He's going back for redemption.
No,
mate.
No. Honestly though,
redemption.
We're going back.
You're going back to make the family name proud. You're going back to cement yourself as a Dargan. Is that right?
Facts.
No, yeah. So, I mean, obviously, we're going to Ibiza as well. And, you know, one thing that Dean and I have spoken about a lot in the past 6 months is actually just relaxing and enjoying our lives. Dean and I went through an absolute villain arc in the winter. And a villain arc can be described as a period of time where you go dark, you double down on your gym, on your training, on maybe your professional life, your career, on a pursuit which is going to make you suffer now, but that's going to pay off down the line. And a villain arc usually comes after somebody's had a breakup. Nobody's actually had a breakup here, so we're good. But you can definitely artificially create a villain arc, and I think it's healthy to do so. Usually happens in the winter. Usually involves wearing hoodies to the gym at 5 a.m.
However,
Potentially involves getting into a bin at 4:30 in the dark and carrying boats.
but
But
the biggest, if you don't take anything from this podcast, just take this next minute on board. If you're someone going through the monk mode or a villain arc or whatever you want to call it at the minute, the biggest thing is you do it, but you also come out of it as well. Because a lot of the times, and I was close to this as well, but people get into this thing and they train really hard and they work really hard, but they never actually come out and socialise. And when they decide they do 6 months, 8 months down the line, they forget how to speak to someone.
did you do that?
Yeah.
Take me through that, because I know we laugh about it now, but when we zoom out, that could be something that could be damaging to a man. That could be damaging to somebody. So take everybody through that. Take me through that.
So the villain arc started in, what did you say, September, October.
Why?
I just wasn't happy with where I was. I knew there was more to give.
In what way? I want to dig deeper on this.
I was just motivated to do more in my life.
But why?
I wanted to make more money, wanted to look better, wanted to feel better.
Why?
And ultimately, it was probably looking up to you as well, and looking up to Dad and all that.
Do you look up to?
I've probably seen yours, like you doing well in the last year, and then looked up to that. I was like, shit, I'm built for more.
Yeah.
But I was just being subpar. I was living life just subpar.
How did that make you feel?
It's just like I was existing, not living. That's the one thing. I was just existing. I wasn't living.
Did you feel inadequate?
I wouldn't say I'm adequate, but
I'm just throwing things out there as well.
myself, no. I mean, I wasn't in a bad spot, but I just knew I could be in so much of a better spot.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't say I wasn't happy. I just knew I could be so much further on. So then we started training hard, started dialing in with the food. And that was great.
intense.
It was great. It was worth it. Like, I don't regret it.
It's intense.
It was so intense.
Talk to them.
And I
talk to
learned
them
so much about it.
Tell.
We were getting up at 4:30 and doing freezing cold bin dips, and you can say whatever you want about the bin dips, but they were grim.
Yeah.
Like -2 degrees outside, and you're getting into that bin. I remember on a Sunday night, I used to just get scared. I used to get like scared almost for the 5 days ahead. Not because I had to go in and do a 40-hour work week, but because I had to spend 3 minutes, or in total 15 minutes out of that full 5 days, getting into that cold bin. And that was what I got scared about. So, I mean, it was character building. I'm glad I did it. But it was
difficult.
It was, yeah. It was
Like going in, when we were hitting those 4 a.m. bin dips in the cold, fighting demons, and then we were having food, and then going straight to the gym 5 a.m. for like leg session on a Monday. Like that was shite.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna lie and say like that was shite.
Yeah, but every guy I think needs something like that, but not to take over their life for a certain period of time.
Yeah.
And this is where loads of people go wrong. They need to see it as like seasons almost. This is the one way I view it. So you need to see, I see my life as like seasons. So at the minute I'm in the season of relaxing, enjoying myself, and enjoying the fruit of the labour I put in months ago. But the September to March is the season of just going all in and working hard, because I mean there's nothing else to do. How much can you enjoy a night out in -4 temperatures? Like seriously?
That's true. And like I'm a firm believer that you do have to earn it, because I think, work hard, play hard. If all you do is play, that's going to catch you in the long run. I'm a firm believer of that. And that was character building. And I feel like everybody needs that level. I feel like everybody needs that period of unsustainability to then be stable down the line. I feel like everybody needs to pay the stock up front to then enjoy things down the line.
Also,
It's not always the case, but for me and you, I know we spoke about this a lot, and I feel like it's so important. But also as well, when it comes to coming out the other end of it, monk mode might look like not sacrificing nights out, sacrificing social occasions, but there actually can be a cost with that. There can be a cost of not going out, and there can be a cost of achieving your goals. But on the other side of that, I know we spoke about this in the monk mode podcast, but this is somebody that's gone through this as well. And talk to me about that. Talk to me when it comes to achieving your goals, but there also being a cost to that, and being able to accept that, and then what do you do from that?
So it was one of the biggest things for me when I came out of like that monk mode sort of period in March, April time. I went out and I didn't know how to speak to anyone at all, and that was like the biggest thing for me because I'd sacrificed going out for 6 months because all I did was work. Like it was 15 hours a day, and I was training, and it was awful. It was genuinely awful. Like you can get in all the shape you want, but if you can go and socialize with anyone, you haven't got like there's really not much going on there, honestly. And it's important. Yeah.
And how have you found life as a 20-year-old being single in today's current market?
I've enjoyed it.
Take it to the farmer's market. 2 plums for 1. Yeah, how have you found that?
I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed life recently, but depends what sort of aspect you're talking in.
Do you feel a pressure to connect with women in today's day and age? Do you feel a pressure to, and I mean, I was on a call with somebody a couple of weeks ago and they spoke to me about outsourcing their validation to the world through women and through women's validation. And, you know, I spoke personally about through seeking validation from your own efforts, from the fruits of from your own labour, seeking validation through that, through your own characteristics and your own traits. But a lot of people seek that through other people. Through maybe women.
Well, that's the thing, though. You need to build yourself up before you start trying. In my opinion, you need to build yourself up to a place where you're completely confident in who you are. You know you've done the work before you start trying to go out and find a woman. I mean, I haven't found a woman, so I might not be the right person to talk on this. But
I feel like you are.
But I've seen enough to go round that you need to build yourself up to a place to where you're extremely happy with who you are. You can step out anywhere, you can speak to anyone, you're confident in your body, you're confident in your mind, and then you can go find a woman. Because if all, like I've seen it happen time and time before with friends, with family, everyone, if you go out and you're not too happy with who you are at the time, you haven't built yourself up yet, then you go get into a relationship, it's like everything, your whole validation, everything depends on this girl. And what happens 6 months down the line when she breaks up with you, gets with another fella? Then you feel like you're worthless, you feel like shit, you're heartbroken, you don't know what to do with your life.
Yeah, you need to take, I completely agree, you need to take your confidence for you and nobody else. A woman should not dictate who you are, your confidence, and what you're about as a man. You should feel your confidence through you, your efforts, what you've accomplished, what you've achieved. And see, if I'm being very blunt and honest, if you haven't achieved, if you're not competent in any realm of your life, then there's no reason for us to be confident as individuals. And people might disagree with that. I feel like people want confidence nowadays, but they don't want to do the work to then become competent in that area. You have to become competent in some area. That might be in your occupation through whatever it is you do for work. That might be in your ability to socialize, in your ability to be funny, in your ability to love someone as a father or as a mother, whatever that is. Hola, you want dos más, por favor? Sí, gracias. Sorry, I was ordering another round of beers there. But I feel like you need to ask yourself, have I done the work to actually be confident? If the answer is no, then it's not about asking the question, should I be confident? It's about asking the question, what do I need to do to then obtain that? What I need to do, is that getting in shape? Is that going to the gym? Is that starting that side hustle and building up my capital? What is that vehicle that's going to get you to that level? Because you're not just going to wake up one day and feel confident. I feel like people need to forgo that question, why am I not confident? People need to forgo the question, why am I not motivated? It's action before talk. Action before talk. And all I've seen you do in the past year, which I'm really proud of as well. Like you should be proud of yourself, man. Like you smashed it. That's not being proud of, and that's me being straight up. You've got in ridiculous shape. You've built a side hustle which is about to become your main hustle. You're about to leave your job, which is incredible. Like tell the people, tell the family what you're currently doing, what you've been working on, and then where you're going.
Yeah, so I was working in a clothes brand, and I've been packing orders for the past 2 years. And starting last September, I got into cryptocurrency and started trading it day in, day out. But this is the thing with cryptocurrency. you do not know who to believe. And that's going to be one thing that stops a lot of people from getting involved in a lot of things. It's not just cryptocurrency. A lot of these side hustles, people will try to sell you, and it's a load of bullshit. But the most important thing is just to dive in. This is a lot of people will stop themselves from getting involved because they think, oh, this is a scam, this is that. It's like, just take a dive in, and maybe you do learn a load of bullshit, but if you stick at it 3 months down the line, you might start to find the right people to learn off. And I've gotten the cryptocurrency, been in for now 9 months, maybe a bit longer, and it's nearly full-time job.
Hola. The beers are inbound. Hola. Gracias. Benito. Oh, I'll give me that there. Thank you so much. And this, we've dos de our aguas cervezas.
Yes.
Yeah, that bit one. Cheers, mate. So yeah,
Restart.
then you go to Juro, as you are. Don't worry, we're just gonna keep this rolling. We're gonna keep it very natural through this podcast as well. Beers are coming, a bit of water coming in and out. It's a hot country, man. We're relaxing. We're on holiday, habibi, right? Habibi, come to Dubai, right? So fill us in.
Yeah, so when I first started in cryptocurrency, there was nowhere to turn to and look for advice. And it's the same with a lot of things, drop shipping, cryptocurrency, Forex. There's all these guys trying to sell advice, but there's nowhere legit to turn to. But it didn't matter to me. I just dived in anyway, and we got stuck in. And yeah, you take in a lot of bullshit along the way, but 3-4 months down the line, you start to realize, oh, well, he's legit, he's not legit, and it doesn't really matter. The longer you stay in a game, the more punches you're able to take, and you'll start to be able to duck them, and you'll start to understand things. Like, that was the most important thing I learned. It's just staying in the same thing for long enough to start to understand it and start to build something off the back of it. So now it's been 9 months, 10 months, and we're doing all right.
You're killing it. You're absolutely killing it. Like, he's very humble. Maybe me not so much, but he's very humble. He's absolutely killing it, and you're leaving your job. You're leaving your full-time job soon, right?
In September. Well, yeah, currently.
You are. You are. Own it.
Halfway through August, mate.
Own it, man. Own it.
Yeah,
Like, you're doing really, really well, and I'm proud of you. Really proud of you as a brother, as a mate, and you're going off. You're doing your own thing. You're going to be doing crypto full time, which is insane. It's going to give you the opportunity to travel, to be free, and to do whatever you want to do with your life. And you know, that's something which you've worked for. Nobody has given you that. Like, that cannot be put in your hand. Nothing. So like, you should be really proud of that. And anybody listening that feels like, oh, they're stuck in the job, they feel like, oh, that can't be me. You did not know what you wanted to do with your life at all. Like, you started with zero knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Like, you still don't know.
No, I still don't know. But
I still don't know. Nobody knows, right?
I still don't have a clue what I'm going to do in 10 years' time, 20 years' time. I still think about it.
Neither.
But
I fuck all clue.
all you got to do is what you're doing now, just work your balls off at it. And it doesn't matter. You don't need to know what you're going to do in 10 years' time. Just whatever you're doing now, work your balls off at it. And if you don't like it, then work harder at something else to then try to change it. And that's all you got to do.
When did you know
You don't
that?
have to think crazy long term.
When did you know that this is something that I could do long term and end up quitting my job from? Was there a day where you remember? Was there a day? There had to be a day.
There was, yeah, I can't put my finger on it. I remember there was a week. I think there was a week I came into you and I was like, yo, Daniel, I made this much this week. And you were like, oh, fuck, you should definitely.
How much was it?
I think it was like 2.2.
Right, 2.5K
in the week.
That week, yeah.
And I was like, this is absolutely mental. But this is off the back. Like, when I first started, I lost near enough everything. So I started back in September, and by the time February hit, by the time January hit, I was down to my last $500, and then I think took me January, February, but this is all while doing 10 hours a day. Not making any money, losing money every day.
Yeah,
turning up to lose. Like, I remember I was getting up at 5 a.m. to lose money. Like, people don't understand what that feels like. Like, people work a job and make money. Like, waking up to lose money is a different story. But yeah, it was February, and I think I made like 2.2 grand a week. And I came in to Daniel, and he was like in the games rooms. You remember?
Yeah, I remember it.
I was like, mate, this is mad. What do you think I should do? But it was just 1 week, and I'm pretty sure like the weeks after, I just lost it. I lost it all. So it was pointless.
No, but that was the first sniff. That was the first bum sniff where you realise, shit, there's actually things this could be fruitful, and then where have you got to now? So I think it's important. Like again, I think it's important for people to realise. I know you don't mind not like talking about that, but for people to see where you've come and then the potential down the line of where you could go. Like I really want people to realise that there is a life out there where you can work for yourself, do what you want, and live a life that you love at such a young age. You don't need to have a mad education. I didn't go to uni. Like, you didn't go to uni?
I went to university in life.
University of life, mate.
Damn right.
Yeah. So, where is it up to now?
This month we've taken a hiatus this month because big months.
No, the past month.
But the past month we did $7.5 grand.
Yeah, like 7.5K as a 20-year-old, like just working from your laptop. Albeit, yes, you've put in a lot of work in there, as like you've been there constantly, but like you could be anywhere in the world, and we're actually going off to Bali very soon. We're going to be traveling together, and like I'm going to be working, you're going to be working, and like don't get me wrong, people think it's all sunshine and rainbows working from your laptop. You're doing more work than what anybody would do in a normal job. Like you're doing ridiculous hours. Worse, like you're up early at 4:30 in the morning working all hours. I'm up 4:30 working all hours. But at the same time, having the flexibility and freedom, that's beautiful, and that's the life that you choose. And I really want to hit home here. There's going to be people that are your friends and maybe your family that are saying that's bullshit. You can't do that. Or maybe you have a dream, or maybe you have an aspiration of something that you want to achieve, and there's naysayers in your life. And I want you to shut those naysayers down. I wanted to get really clear why you're doing what you're doing, why you want to live that life, why you don't want to live this life that you're currently living. And I want you to write that down in black and white. Write out 50 reasons why you're doing what you're doing, and go deep on that. And then when that person says to you, when your friend says, oh, that's just stupid, are you still doing that thing, are you still trying on that, then you can say, oh yeah, I still am. And you can just continue on in silence, and then eventually they will ask. First they will chastise, then they will ask. So I want you to continue doing what you're doing, and please never ever stop, because you didn't stop. And I'm actually so buzzing that you didn't, because where it is now, and like this is 20. Imagine where that's gonna be at 30.
Yeah, there were so many times like over the past 10 months that I was so close to quitting. Like people don't understand how close I came to quitting, and like going. So I've been to bed before like losing $1,000 in a matter of 10 seconds.
Yep.
And having to try to go to bed and not being able to sleep and just staring at the ceiling and thinking, right, this is me, I'm done. And I remember I gave myself 30 days. This was
I remember that
January to February period.
Yeah, tell me about that. So
I remember that I was losing that much money that I was like, and I was putting in that many hours. I was like, this isn't going to work out at all. So I gave myself 30 days and put it in my notes.
I remember you came in to me. I literally remember you came in to me and you're like, I'm giving myself 30 days. I have till this date to make $1,000.
Yeah, I gave myself 30 days to make $1,000, and within, I think it was like day 15 or day 16, I just smashed it at the park. And yeah, it just shows you that it wasn't like, it's not all sunshine and rainbows at all, but
yeah, it's not.
You put in the work and you'll get there.
No, and you should be proud of yourself, and you should be really proud of yourself. But I think that's really important. And I think not only is it important what you're doing, but I think it's important who you surround yourself with. I think it's important to have a brotherhood of people who you're surrounding yourself with, guys that are forward thinking, guys that are working hard in the gym, guys that are working hard in their career, and people that want the best for you. I feel like in today's day and age, there's so many people that don't bring other people up. I see it, and it kills me that I've seen other people do well, and I've seen their friends not mention it. That kills me. And like, see when my Instagram took off, and like, again, I know I don't place everything on a following, but like when my Instagram took off, when things blew up, so many of my a lot of my close friends that like I'm really close. I'm really like, I class them as really close friends. They didn't even mention it. Whereas I'd randomers being like, oh, I'm really proud of you. Like, that's incredible. Like, you put in a lot of hard work. And I'm not saying that's everything. Of course it's not. But be very wary, be super aware of the people that congratulate you when you're doing well, and the people that are there for you when things are in the shitter, when you're in the gutter. Those are the type of people, see, when those people are in your life, they're the kind of people that you should stay with. They're the green flags. but having a brotherhood, a network of people that you need to surround yourself with. Like, we spoke about this before. We spoke about this at length as well. Young guys especially, feeling like they need a network, a community of individuals that, number one, they're forward thinking. Number two, there's a brotherhood, there's a connectivity there of individuals that want to be better physically, financially, mentally. Do you not feel like there's a space for that at the moment?
100%. I mean, people are crying out for it.
When we look at your friends, when we look at the people your age.
Paul, cut that.
No, I'm saying.
I'm not speaking about my mates.
No, I'm not talking about that. No, I'm saying when we look at your friend or when we look at your friendship, what would you say did they struggle with the most? People your age group.
I would say wanting things, but then being too lazy to take action and get them. Everyone wants to be in good shape, but doesn't want to spend the time to get in good shape, or doesn't want to eat the way to get in good shape. Wants to do this, but doesn't want to put in the time to get that. It's that.
How important do you feel to have a brotherhood of people that bring you up and that push you?
Yeah, it just completely changes your mindset, because then you believe you can do so much more because he's doing this, so if he's doing that, then I can do that. Like, it just completely changes your belief system. I mean, and that's everything. That's everything. When you see people making X, Y, Z, then you think, oh shit, well, I mean, he's just another guy. I can do that.
Expansion of the mind, right?
Yeah.
Spend more time with people that are going to expand your mind to believe, to show you what's actually possible. Spend more time with people that have gone way further than you've gone, that have paved the way in front of you, so you can just walk down that, so you could ask them for advice. That's what I've done. Like, when I hired my first mentor, when I was in the personal training, like when I was working on the gym floor, I remember, like, I had no clue what I was doing. I really had no clue. I was just trying to blag my way through, and I had my personality, I had my charisma, I had my rough training and nutrition knowledge. I knew how to get myself in shape. I'd never gotten anybody else in shape before. Well, really got anybody else in incredible shape before, and I was just blagging my way through. But I hired a mentor, somebody that was literally top of the game in the country, and I think that's a really good lesson. Hire somebody that is where you want to be. Ask yourself, where do I want to go? Who's doing what I'm currently doing? How can I hire those individuals? And if it's a case where there's maybe no one in that field, or they're not currently in your price budget, okay, who can I surround myself with that's in the similar industries? Like, for me, when I went to the gym, I spoke to every single individual. It's like, right, okay, do you want to go for coffee? Do you want to go for a gym session? Do you want to meet up? How can we speak to people that are going to allow me to expand my mind and bring me forward? Realistically, me, Gary, obviously Dad as well, like that, like the three of us alone allow you to expand your mind. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I when I look at my older brother, like, he does very well with my dad.
The advantages I have.
Talk about that more.
Being able to
In what way?
Just expand what you think is possible. Like, anything is actually possible because you can see people doing it. And like, when you live around people that are performing well and working their balls off every day, then that's just what's expected of you. And that's what, I mean, it makes it, cut that, I got retarded there.
Who cares? I mean, it's a podcast. We're having a bit of crack. I mean,
cut that.
Nah. Liam, you don't need to cut anything, bro.
Do
He wants you to cut it. It's his first podcast. Okay, we're good. But no, you've absolutely smashed it. And no, I wanted you to come on to talk about, obviously, where you're at and where you're going. And like, I think you're going to inspire a lot of young guys. Like, the fact that you're 20, the fact that you're in incredible shape, the fact that you're coming out the other side now, realizing that monk mode has served you, but you've also realized that, okay, you need a period of relaxing to improve the quality of your life.
You need a season to take off, and then you come back and you do shit 10 times better than you did before.
Yeah.
Like, it's 100%. Like, when I came back from Ibiza, I took a full week off, didn't look at a single thing, came back and was like, shit, I'm ready to get this shit going again. And within 2 weeks, I was just so much further.
What do you enjoy most about Ibiza? There might be some people here listening that's never been to Ibiza as well. Like,
it's such a crazy place. Like,
I never thought I would ever go.
The best looking woman you will ever see in your life.
The best looking what?
Best looking woman you'll ever see in your life.
I said the best looking what, as if it was ever going to be anything else.
Yeah.
And you said
best looking fellas, mate.
Yeah.
Ram boys.
The best looking, yeah, you said the best looking woman you've ever seen, but like it's an insane place, and that's why we're going back.
The one thing with Ibiza, I was like, when people were getting the tables and they were getting this, and like, don't get me wrong, I think someone popping a bottle of champagne for 5Gs, sprinkling it everywhere and not drinking it is absolutely ridiculous. Like, but it's like, shit, people are doing that. It's like, where the frig did that come from?
Yeah.
So then that also is, you're just like, it's just, you're intrigued, and you're like, it gives you motivation to come back and just do shit so much better.
Yeah. And is money everything, do you believe?
No. But I also think it is pretty important. People have this thing, it's like money doesn't buy happiness. Probably factual, and I'm still quite young to speak about it, but in my opinion, it's pretty important.
I've changed my stance on that, you know. I've changed my stance. I always said money didn't buy happiness, and you know,
It really depends what you're into as well.
You know, no, in one sense I agree. One sense I think it's number one what you've been exposed to, maybe in social media, maybe people around you. But I also believe that money can relieve stress, and relieving stress is one of the most important things. Since I've started coaching, I've realized that actually relieving stress is more important than focusing on being happy. Because when you focus on being happy all the time, you're still going to get tripped up by those curveballs, the stress markers in your life, and that might be your professional life, that might be your work, and you're actually never getting to the root problem. Whereas when you remove stress in your life, you can actually create so much more room to be content. And I'm not saying money removes all stress in life, absolutely not. But stress from, oh, I have to pay that bill for my car, I have to pay that bill for my house, I have to afford this, I have to afford that. I'm not having to worry about not having to worry about your health, letting somebody else, being 100% sure that somebody else can take care of that. That's going to ensure you're honestly going to be so much happier off the back of that. And I'm not saying, oh, you have to make money to be happy. I'm really not saying that. And you know, if you've been watching this podcast, you've been following Instagram a long while, you'll realize that's not the case. That's not the only way that I think. But I really do believe that not putting the hard yards in, not creating a life for yourself that you love, not giving yourself financial freedom, it will make life more difficult. It will make life more difficult. And I don't want that. I don't want that. I want to live a life where, you know, I build a family where they don't need to worry about their health care. They don't need to worry about, oh, we're going to stress about this bill and that bill coming through. And like, nobody else is going to create that apart from me. Like, I like, people are like, do I feel a pressure about, oh, okay, I have to make X amount so that once I build a family, I'm going to be able to provide for them? Yeah. But that's okay. That's fine. If I feel a pressure and a pinch about that, that's fine. I'm a man. I'm gonna be able to deal with it, and that's something that I'm working towards, and that actually gives me purpose. For anyone that's listening, you know, we had this conversation, and like, it's Dean's first podcast, and actually I asked Dean last week to do a testimonial. Like, this is really real. This is a real podcast. You know, like you see a lot of podcasts where it's very clipped and it's very like edited, and like that's not what this is gonna be. I want people to actually see like the true side of that, and like, Dean's not used to being on camera. Dean's not used to being mic'd up, and I am. It's
so much harder than you think. By the way,
it is. Did you feel pressure or like nervous? No.
For what? The podcast, the testimonial
podcast. Well, maybe because the beers probably took that away. Like,
no, not for a podcast, because I'm just chatting to you. It's completely different when I'm just speaking to you. It's like speaking to a brother.
Yeah.
The testimonial, I think, could have been worse than speaking to the birds in town.
Yeah, no, you did butcher that. I'll be straight up. So I asked Dean to do, because obviously I've coached Dean for the past year, and Dean's got incredible results. I asked him to do me a favour and do a testimonial for me about the service so far and the result that he's got, the impact it's had on his life. And I think he took,
like,
bro did take 100 goes at this, and I walked in, like, I was walking from like maybe the bottom of the stairs to the kitchen, and I seen that you were like, had your hands in your head, and you were like smacking your head. I was like, mate, are you getting that worked up? But again, somebody that's never, like, I'll let you in on something. So the first time I ever recorded a story to tell people that I wanted to be a coach, it took me 82 times. 82 times that it took, and that's ridiculous. Whereas now I record any story and I can do it straight on the fly. I don't need to think about it. But I've been doing this for 2 years, so there's a big difference. Excuse me, there's a big difference. Like, when you went into your first job, you walked in, you were nervous, your palms were sweaty, knees weak, your arms were heavy. No, sorry, that's
want to make me chill.
minus 2,000 over for that. No, but again, you were nervous.
Someone cancel this guy, like.
Yeah, and he cancelled. Just actually do. Someone please put me down for that. No, I was not confident in what I was doing in my first day of my first job. But a year later, I walked in like it was second nature. The only difference was the fact that there was more reps than day one. That's it. Okay, so realizing that it's a reps game. So Dean coming in doing this podcast the first time, I appreciate it big time. But you're gonna be nervous, you're gonna be uncomfortable, and that's okay. And the fact you've said, "Oh, cut that, rewind that," or like let's do this, like that's good. That shows people a real side of what we do. That's so normal. Like you're a normal human being, and like we spoke about how well you've done with your crypto. We spoke about all those things, and there's still certain things like okay, we're working on.
There's always something. There's always something to fix. There's always something to work on. Like
there's always something to work on. Like always something to work on. Yeah. So that's a really good lesson. Like for me, someone asked me this earlier last week. And they're like, "What are you not confident in?" And I said, "I'm not confident in physical combat. Like I'm actually not. Like I feel like obviously I'm a lot bigger dude than what I was, but and I feel like I could hold my own to a certain extent. But if we came out up against somebody that was versed in physical combat, I just wouldn't be able to. Like I would not feel confident, and that's something I want to plug that gap. So when we go away traveling, I want to go and do Muay Thai lessons. I want to do that twice a week, and I want to become a lot more confident in that. And again, it comes back to I'm not confident in this, so I'm going to take action on it to then be more confident. So let's continue with that thought loop. But yeah, I really enjoyed the conversation today. I really enjoyed it, and I appreciate you coming on. The fact that it's your first podcast and it was something that was slightly uncomfortable for you, and yeah, I feel like a lot of young guys can look up to you for the work that you put in the gym. I know you're laughing, be like, but like that's true. Okay. I'm not on these end of the burnout shit. Like again, if I was 20 years old, like when I was 20 years old, I was sniffing gear and on a black leather sofa at 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning. I was not.
That's also character building, though.
That is character building because you go so far one way to go the other. Yeah. But at the same time, your league's ahead of where I was, and like that should be inspiring to a lot of people that are listening to this. Maybe it doesn't matter if you're 20, you're 25, you're 30, you're 50. It does not matter. Like you made a decision to not want to turn out how I was, and like that's impressive. That's class. What can people expect from you in the next 6 to 12 months? Like what like going forward? Obviously, the big man's featured on my IG a lot in the past.
Final boss, like jokes. We have gonna start bringing out content of some sort, more educational content about crypto, because there's such a lack of people doing that out there. I mean, is the thing, people show you the lifestyle, they'll show you the rented Lambos, like, but no one will actually show you what they do. Like, no one will show you how to do it, how to read anything, how to understand it. And that's exactly where I tripped up at the start, but then that's also the part of learning. It's like you just understand what's working, what's not working. But yeah, that. And the world tour commences.
Yeah, so tell people what we're doing, where we're going.
We're going to Bali, and then I don't know. Well, he's chatting about Australia, but
we were going to go to Australia, but we're not sure. We might stay in Bali. We have a few things with big projects work-wise going forward. So yeah, we're going to be going to Bali, setting up shop, and we're going to be doubling down on that, the both of us. So yeah, there's loads to look forward.
And then my American world tour in March.
Yeah, so tell people about that. Like I was 20 years old. I think that's class. Again, I always say like I was sitting at 20 years old at 7 a.m. most weekends, like hoofing gear, and you're talking about going to 20 years old going off to America on your own. Like that's wild. But that's class.
It's a risk, but I mean, at the end of the day, when you're 40 years of age and say you have a wife, I would have regretted not doing it, so that's why I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do San Diego, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Miami. Might need to get my bread up a bit more, like. But
what about
Miami?
What about Colombia? Medellin?
Yeah.
Them Colombian hookers, bro. He's been talking about that. Yes, I'm kidding.
But yeah, that is the plan at the minute, to do that, because I've always wanted to do it since I was a kid. And the one thing I've noticed is like when people get older, they always just forget about what they dreamed up.
Yeah, keep far away.
Why would I far away when you don't have the seat?
No. No, I'm just making sure that it was still rolling. It still is.
Like, the one thing I always noticed when I was a kid is, like, people would ask you, what car do you want? And you would have never been like, you would have always said, oh, I want a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or whatever. And then once you get to 17, once you get to 18, like, them dreams just kind of get sucked out of you. I don't know if it's with school or whatever it is. Like, the dreams almost just get sucked out of people. And it's like, why? Why should they be? So, like, when I was a kid, my dream was always to go to America. So that's why I'm going to do it. I'm going to take it off the bucket list. And I hope I love it.
You will.
It's like, never let your dreams die. I love it. Never let them die.
I love that.
Like, just because you're a kid and you had that dream doesn't mean it was wrong.
Wow. Yeah, never let your dreams die. That's such a good one. Yeah, sometimes I forget to think about that, and you know, when you're younger, it's like, why do these dreams get suppressed? But don't let the external world suppress who you really are. Don't let the external world suppress the talent that you have and what you're actually capable of doing. And you know, you're actually capable of doing a lot more than you realize. If you told me a couple of years ago I'd be doing what I'm doing, and I would not have believed you, and I'm sure you would have been the same. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed the conversation, and I appreciate it. I know it's your first podcast, so I know it was slightly.
I have to rerun this.
No,
point, like,
no. We'll do episode 2, 3, 4 and beyond. But I think it's gonna actually be really good to look back on this first podcast and see how not uncomfortable you are, but like as in how unnatural it was for you. And then come back to it in, say, maybe 2-3 months, and it'll be so normal for you. So,
yeah, that's the thing. It's like, you just got to do things that don't make you comfortable, and then do them enough times, and it's not too bad.
Yeah, like, don't erase it. Like,
that's real life.
That's real. Like, I wish, well, we were talking about this last week, I wish I kept all my OG videos of me trying to make my first Instagram story. So we're not going to delete this. We're going to put this out, and I actually really enjoyed the conversation. I hope you did too. And listen, I hope you got value from it. And we're now at episode 22. I'm pretty sure, I actually don't even know the statistic. It's like 97% of people don't get past episode 21. So,
Bro made it fast, like.
yo, bro made it. So yeah, I'll see you next week for episode 23. And if you love the podcast, please like, share, and follow. And if you want to see more of Dean and his crypto content, follow him at Connor Dargan on Instagram.
On Instagram, and Connor Dargan Crypto on TikTok. Videos to come soon.
Yeah, coming soon. Riz and TikTok. Riz and crypto. Big love. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you.